Hi everyone, welcome to Four-Eyed Foundry, and today we're going to talk about how to cheese this boss, the tank boss from Hulvania. So what you're watching here is footage of me doing it with Trin, but basically I'm going to show you how to do it with a one-size-fits-all build that suits all the other Warframes that you need to do this with to get all the Accolade Glyphs. So if you check this out, we're going to be showing the build to you with Excalibur right here, and I just want to show you that we are doing it with the Latron Prime, the Lex Prime, and the Sancti Magistar. The build for the Latron Prime doesn't really matter. What matters is this fourth evolution right here, Flensing Spikes, which removes 20% of your enemy armor per puncture status, and you're gonna have to do that in the first and second phases. Now the Lex Prime is what you're gonna be using to deal with the Scaldra balloons, or the enemies that come in via the balloons. It's nothing special. It's just crit, some fire rate to make up for the fire rate loss with Creeping Bullseye. Actually, you can use any hit scan, high fire rate handgun here. Yeah, so the Sancti Magistar would be your carry weapon, and if you check out my mods, it's gonna be built like a standard slam weapon. Now the Riven is not really needed. Just add some heavy attack damage mod there, whatever fits. You don't need the Riven. The Riven's just meant to be there to speed up the entire mission, but basically it's not a requirement is what I'm trying to say. And for the focus school, you're gonna need Vazarin for the Guardian Shell ability, and it helps if you have all these other abilities, and of course Void Snare, so that you could cast your second skill and then you do a ground finisher, which then helps build up your combo with melee crescendo. Right, and as for the Warframe build, keep in mind that you're just gonna copy this into all the other Warframes. So what you're gonna have is Brief Respite, Ogre Accord, just for the additional shield regen whenever you cast something. Rolling Guard is a necessity. So all of these tanky mods plus Nearest Hatred. Now, Primed Sure-Footed is not exactly a requirement. It is a nice to have, but if you have Handspring or anything else that could just deal with the knockdowns given to you by the enemies in this encounter, that would be great. As for the Arcanes, Arcane Aegis is nice because again it's shield regen, and that's what this build is focusing on, shield regen. So Arcane Barrier is another nice thing to have on there. But if you don't have any of these, maybe just slot in an Arcane Nullifier, because there's a lot of magnetic and nullification effects in the game that helps you deal with that. But I don't know, I would still say that Aegis and Barrier are nice to have, even if they're not maxed. Aegis and Barrier are still nice to have. Yeah, and as for your companion, you're gonna want a Worm Prime, or a Worm with the Negate mod. Negate only fits on Worm, that's why we're using it. Then of course it helps if you have Guardian, Shield Charger, basically anything for the companion to help you restore your shields. And you need Calculated Redirection on your Worm, so it gets 2100 shields, which then procs Reinforced Bond, which only procs when you have over 1200 max shields. So that's just bonus fire rate, and the fire rate's always good. And of course you're gonna need Sacrifice, but basically what I'm trying to say is Negate and Sacrifice are gonna be your carry mods for your companion, because Sacrifice just incapacitates your Sentinel, so it revives you in case you die, and then Negate just removes your status. Basically just another stack of status immunity on top of your Rolling Guard. And the Manifold Bond, that slot right there is, I'm just using that because I couldn't fit anything else, because I formatted in a D. But you can put anything in that slot, but what you're gonna need is a Restorative Bond, because Restorative Bond helps feed into the cycle of Sacrifice, because it just brings your companion back. And for the companion weapon, anything's gonna fit there. I just slotted in a Volclock because it's my most built one. So yeah, enough talk, I guess. Let's just explore it. Let's try to do one full run with Aoi.
It falls to yours truly to set Helvania straight.
And the moment you spawn in, as soon as you enemies, you're gonna want to stack your melee crescendo with your Vazarin second skill and ground finishers, because those count as well when you're building up your crescendo. I personally like getting the combo counter to times 12 before I start looking for the green computers. Sound check, sound check. Yeah. But I could make a separate video for that topic if you want me to. So basically we just hop in there, look for the green PC, play that small snake game, and then we're gonna summon the Skaldra paratroopers. Here you could use a cipher just to skip the whole snake game. And then as soon as the paratroopers spawn in, you're gonna want to pull out your Lex Prime and then shoot them out of the sky. They're gonna drop down, insta-kill them, get the RPGs, and then you launch them right into the fence. Now, one RPG is not enough to shoot the second barrier out. We're gonna have to call in another paratrooper spawn. There we go. The moment that thing spawns, I like casting at least one skill just to get my shields up. Thanks to Brief Respite. Now I shoot all the weak points out with an Incarnon Latron. Because the moment the Latron is done with it, as you can see, it's fully armor stripped. So I pull my Lex out, shoot one of those paratroopers out, shoot another one down, just so I have a spare RPG, and you're gonna see why that's needed later. I pick it up, I shoot one shot at the tank, and then automatically it's on its second health bar. I switch back to my Latron, and I shoot the weak points right away, building Incarnon charge for the second phase. You're gonna want Incarnon charge for the second phase because you don't want to build it while the weak points are up. So one shot and then automatically I trigger the second phase. That's how important armor strip is in this part of the game, because it just makes it so much easier where you require just one shot of the RPG to clear out the entire health bar. So now we're gonna proceed to the second phase. Remember, I told you to keep Incarnon charges on your Latron for this particular part. This is why. We swap back to our Latron. It still has half Incarnon charge. I shoot at it 3 times and then automatically all the armor is just stripped. Now we're gonna pull out our Sancti Magistar or Magistar, whatever you have. Or you could also use the Sampotes, Arcatitron, whatever. As long as it's a slam weapon, you pull that out and then you just wail on the enemy right here. It's gonna hit all the weak points, making short work of the enemy's health bars throughout the entire encounter. And then you just keep slamming. Keep slamming some more. Nope. There we go. Look at that. Look at that health bar. One final set of damage cycles that we have to go through. That was me trying to activate Magus Firewall. One more. And it's down.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, as you can see, just keep using the slam build for this particular encounter and you'd be fine. Focus on staying alive, focus on your movement, manage the cycle between rolling guard and negate, and you should be fine. And that's pretty much it. Again, my name is Ronin from Four-Eyed Foundry. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.